No, first of all, let's talk about what does the shoot to kill order does. Shoot to kill order is a threat to right to life, because in the Bill of Rights, there's what you call a right to life. So when you say shoot to kill, already is a threat, or even if you like, is a violation to that right. Because can you imagine you are working in a country where there's a shoot to kill order? So it means that first, you have a threat to your life. So all Kenyans should know that their life is at threat by the state because there's a shoot to kill order. Secondly, there's a suppression of rights of expression, meaning that you can say something that can lead to your death. Also, there's freedom of movement, meaning anytime you see a police station, you see a scene of crime, you see an aggression, you see that you are entering into not a holy land like the one of Moses, but you're entering in a land of insecurity. My brother, you have to know that sometime there used to be a time when if you feel your life in danger, the safest place was run to a police station. Yes. Now, Ojwang was killed in a police station. And now you have been told that if you are seen coming to a police station with a view to demonstrate, now, how do you judge that this person is coming to report something? How will you know someone coming to for his own safety? Or how do you know someone who is an aggressor? What happens that anybody can shoot you, then say that they saw you as demonstrator. And because maybe no one is there, if there's no witness and there's no CCTV, so anyone can be shot. Means that Kenya Kwanza government can now eliminate anybody they want to eliminate with shoot to kill order. So there's threat of life. So that one for me, I find that is a serious issue. Secondly, Murkomen has no powers to say those things he said and remain in office if his boss has not given him those powers. Remember, if you're the President of the Republic of Kenya, and one CS goes and says, you can shoot Kenyans to kill, and yet the President took oath of office to protect life and property. What will you do to that CS? You'll fire him, isn't it? What has the President done? The President again called all the policemen, and he took a photo with all of them and told them that they have his support. And Murkomen said the same thing. The same word the President used on the eve of the 25th of June, before Mandamano, that the policemen have the support of the President. Murkomen repeated on 26th of June that he will support them, he will protect them. So now, is Murkomen going to protect crime, like shoot Kenyans or kill them, and it's not allowed, and then I'll protect you? Meaning that the President and his CS is allowing Kenyans to be killed, and they'll protect them. How do you protect somebody who has committed a crime? According to me, in any developed world or any civilized society, by now Murkomen should have resigned, left office, and the President as well. Because according to me, there are many people who will be dying even as we approach Sabasaba. So as we approach Sabasaba, I know Murkomen is now saying, I didn't say that, but this is what politicians normally do. I also want to say that when you see these statements now being said by Murkomen, these statements had been said before by former Minister of Interior. So it seems that it is just impunity that is always coming from these people. Remember, under Uhuru Kenyatta, somebody said the same thing. Yes. Under Kibaki, Michuki said it, isn't it? Yes. Under Uhuru Kenyatta, Matiang'i said it, isn't it? Now under Ruto, Kindiki said it, isn't it? Gachagua also said it, isn't it? And now, yes, Murkomen has said it, isn't it? Yes. So we are not just looking at isolated case. It's a systematic problem. And now the question is, how do you address this matter? These people operate as if there is no Constitution of Kenya 2010, and we need to bring back the enforcement of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And if Kenyans cannot deal with their own internal issues, then these cases need to be an ICC cases. And I want to tell Kenyans that thanks God we developed and installed the People's Restorative Justice Commission. We are collecting every single statement, every evidence around violation of human rights, economic crime, suppressing Kenyans' dissent, because people should be allowed to dissent. Even in your family, your wife disagrees with you, kids disagree with you. They should not be now, you tell them shoot to kill. We should always allow dialogue to happen. So I believe that those statements were completely wrong, and they don't belong to a modernized democracy like Kenya, and is a threat to democratic space, is a threat to all the bills of rights. So all the progress we've made in our constitution, we are being pushed back by this despotic regime headed by William Ruto and being implemented by his cronies.
Okay, so you are at that OTC place. Kenyans have really been talking about, and I was seeing that interview, that you actually got inside there. What is your account of what exactly happened?
Now, what exactly happened in that OTC is very easy to determine. And what is easy to determine is that there are questions that you have to ask, because I'm an expert in investigation. And then secondly, I have worked with insurance companies. So remember that when you set up a supermarket, you must have everything insured, the building, and plus the goods that are there.
Yes.
So procedures will help you know what actually happened. And when you follow the process, then you know where the process is broken. Whenever a shop is broken into, there's what the insurance tells you. For example, if you drive a car and you hit somebody or you get an accident, the first thing you have to get the police abstract, isn't it?
Yes.
And before you get a police abstract, you have to have an OB, isn't it?
Yes.
So you have to report. So the same case, when you get your shops robbed in, for you to be compensated by the insurance company, you have to give them an OB from the police. The policemen have to come on site and also give you an abstract. So what could happen, and I talked to an eyewitness on the ground, is probably that the owner of the supermarket discovered that people had entered his supermarket. And maybe that time the policeman had been shooting around the area, so he didn't come in the beginning. But he must have at some point reported to the police.
Yes.
So did he report when the shooting was going on? And the shooting here, I don't mean bullets. There were no rubber bullets, but tear gas canisters were being shot into the supermarket.
Yes.
So he must have reported. So the question we have to ask, which police station did he report? Isn't it? Is it the police who told him that there's people in his shop, or is the one who knew and informed the police? So we have to know who informed each other.
He can have an access to CCTV.
Yes. So just leave that for now. The second question you have to ask, and this is now the eyewitness account, which I add with my own eyewitness and tell you. You first of all, to understand this thing, you have to separate that on 25th of June, there are three types of protesters. And the first protesters were the goons, which are normally paid by the government, and they were chanting one term, because I was also in town during the Mandamano.
Yes.
On 25th. They are shouting one term. I'm sure when they shout one term, they mean, wacha Ruto amalize. Musimtoe leo. Isn't it? Then there's a group that I would call them, these groups I would call them genuine Gen Zs, who are going to the street to commemorate the 25th of June 2024. And also they were chanting, Ruto must go, justice for Ojuang, and their main chant was half term. So you separate one term from half term.
Yes.
Then the last group are opportunists, who is looking for something to fall between when Gen Zs are confronting the policemen. Maybe there's a shop broken in, can they enter? So those opportunities are always there, because mostly they're hungry people, because the economy is so bad, they have nothing to eat, they have no jobs. So those opportunities are there, and it's not their creation. It's the economy that has created the desperation that is there in Kenya. So I suspect the third group of the opportunists, that when the policemen were confronting the Gen Zs on the street, maybe they must have noticed that there's a way you can break into that supermarket, because I saw the back door. There was just some bow that you could actually just push and go in. Because when I was going there. You remember, the whole area was cordoned by the police, and they were shooting tear gas everywhere. But I carried my hand up, and I said I'm peaceful, and I also told them I'm a media personality. Some of them recognized and told Professor Peter Raka. Then I ran quickly, and I crossed from the police battlegrounds, and I entered inside. So when I reached there, the watchman in front told me, you can't go inside because we have been told by management no one should go inside. So I went in and pushed Ambao, then I got inside. Then I called the media station, Citizen, TV47, that accompanied me inside with those other media stations that reports for women femicide. We went inside the supermarket. So when I was there, I started looking around and I said, but I was told this looting took place. I couldn't see any looting, by the way. Most of the things were intact: sugar, salt, ungangano. You know, Kenya wanapenda chapati, wangeweka ungangano. I can't see anything like anything carried from the shop. I went up to where there's electronics. They were all intact. You know, when you enter a supermarket, if you put a laptop like that on a mind, you run away with it because it has money. You could see electronics like some phones, some good utensils. People normally carry things you can sell quickly and make money. I also went to the manager's office. I found his office was intact. Normally, Kenyans run to, or thieves for that matter, or run to the manager's office because manager's office does not seem to be locked. It has no strong door. The drawers were there. They were all intact. His laptops were all intact. Even his electronics were intact. Even he has cameras there. They were all intact with his phones. Nothing was stolen. Then I started looking around. People said people were shot inside. Is there any stains of blood? There was no stains of blood throughout the supermarket. But what was glaringly being seen was that you could see a lot of tear gas canisters everywhere. I didn't have a lot of time because also the manager was harsh, was chasing me away to remain with the Citizen and TV47 so that they can report the story they wanted to report. And I can tell you the story reported by TV47 and Citizen should never be believed. It's so far from the truth. Because they simply said there was no bodies there, that the story is a sham, isn't it? That's what they said, which is not true. So I could see 12 tear gas canisters that have actually been exploded there on the floor everywhere. So that made me have the most likely hypothesis that these people who are being shot around, according to the eyewitness, somebody, I won't mention his name, but I have his contacts. When time comes, I can produce him as evidence after we protect him. He told me around 4-5 there was a lot of shooting and more than 50 people entered the supermarket with intention to loot. You get me? Mm-hmm. But the policemen, instead of running inside there, arresting them because they were not armed, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Because Murkomen says you cannot arrest somebody who is armed. They were not armed. They were just looters. They could have just gone in and arrested them. They threw too many tear gas canisters inside that supermarket. If you look at the supermarket, there is no ventilation at all. In fact, it was locked. All the windows and doors were closed. So I guess that the tear gas entered inside there, and that tear gas is so toxic. If it has ever gone to you, you know what I'm trying to say. In open air, you struggle to survive. Even you feel your intestines are almost coming out. I got 4-5 of them on my way to the supermarket. So I know what I'm trying to say. So these people must have been choked by the tear gas canisters there. And the Sun says it, that with that tear gas, too much there, it produces a lot of carbon dioxide environment with some gases which cannot allow you to consume oxygen. And when oxygen levels fall down in your body from 95, you start feeling something. And you cannot survive. Your brain needs more than 75% of oxygen. If it has less, you start being brain dead. Your brain starts dying because your brain needs a lot of oxygen to do, even to think, to reason, but even to command so many things in your body. So these people must have been suffocated in there, and then they died. So when the policemen discovered this by morning, then Murkomen comes to give a press statement to distract everybody else from what was going on. Remember, these things are always tactics done. You know, as intelligence, normally the government can do some things to distract you from the truth. So Murkomen came to issue those orders, threats right there, while the policemen were ready moving bodies away from the supermarket using the behind doors. There's a street boy who was caught in the arm there who was also helping them carry the bodies. That street boy so far disappeared. I've tried to look for him. I think that Kenya need to find him. I have his picture and video, but we don't know where he is at the moment. Maybe he has been taken away or he has disappeared. I don't know. This government disappears people. So the boy says that he was helping take the bodies from the supermarket into the police vehicle. And you look at the pictures, you can see over 10 police vehicles there. What were they carrying? Would you bring the number of the policemen who are there came with the police lorry for GSU, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But what were these over 10 police vehicles with alarm and sirens there? The scenario is that those are the police vehicles they usually used to pick the body. They used to pick Ojwang's body. I have a story when you go to City Mortuary, just stand in front there. Those police vehicles come in, out. They're just bringing dead bodies in and out. Mm. Where they're coming from, where they bring them from, only God knows. But I know those are bodies of Kenyans whom they have killed or have died of something or there. So that's what actually I think what happened, and most likely that's what happened. And to verify this is very simple. Let them tell us the OB number which was recorded about this people's death. Let them tell us what actually was recorded in those OB. Once we know that, I want to ask the human rights defenders like me, should we go to all mortuaries in Nairobi and look for which bodies checked in between 26th and 30th, and then go and check what cases were reported to have been reasons why they were brought there? If they cannot be explained, then we just pick